Hey, welcome to my channel. This is Spirit Soul Sense, information for your soul. I am Shareece, and I wanted to talk about loneliness today. I'm sure you know the definition of loneliness and you've experienced it for yourself because we're human. I've definitely experienced loneliness, but I want to focus on a spiritual definition of loneliness, which is the feeling of being disconnected from God. I truly believe that the feeling of loneliness, feeling like you're alone or that there's no one there to support you, is really a disconnect. Like you are not connected to God, because if you were connected to God, you would realize that everything is connected. You're connected to everything. And there's no way you could possibly feel alone if you're like enveloped in the love that is God. So my number one recommendation to stop feeling lonely is to get connected to God. And that can be through different means for different people. But develop a spiritual practice, participate in a religion if that's what you do, because religion has very specific guidelines for how to get connected with God. So if you don't have a spiritual practice or you don't know what to do to get connected with God, if you see a religion that aligns with a lot of your beliefs, I would say look at what they do, look at what they instruct people to do so that you can implement some of those things in your life. And oh my gosh, I promise you, if you do the work, which is like with everything in life, right? If you do the work, you will see progress, you will see results. That's gonna apply to everything else that I share in this video about how to stop feeling lonely. It's really about you deciding that enough is enough. You're tired of feeling lonely and you want to feel something else. So you have to invite something new into your life by doing something new. That usually starts with your thoughts. So shift your thinking and a lot of the behaviors in your life will change. So I was recently reading an article that was all about loneliness in America. And basically the numbers were like 48% of women, 48% of women and like 60% of men. And then they also like broke it down into generations. And so the youngest people, like the Generation Z folks, feel the most lonely, which makes a lot of sense because we have the age of social media, which fosters like this false sense of connectedness. I was gonna say I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I do hate Instagram. I don't hate anything or anyone, but the way that it's set up, it doesn't foster like organic interaction, communication. A lot of it is fake. People are pretending. And a lot of times when I'm looking on social media, because I'm back on social media, I'm often thinking, is this real? Is this real? I mean, does it matter if it's real? What does it mean? I really try not to judge people, especially strangers on the internet, which is what a lot of people do to feel better about themselves. But social media is not the cause of anything, but it's one way that we can see the disconnect that we have in our society. So when I use social media, I really like to send private messages, leave comments, actually interact in a meaningful way with people instead of just scrolling or just liking. I really like to foster connection. That's the way I use social media. It works for me. I don't get too caught up with whether someone also likes to use it the same way. It's important for me to just be myself and put it out there and not worry about like the outcome. It's nice when folks reply, but they don't have to. I know that what I want is real connection. And so if I sense that my efforts for real connection fall flat most of the time, I might take a break from social media. So like my recommendation for you, if you are feeling lonely and you're on social media, is get off of social media. Just go. Leave it. Get off of the Instagrams, get off of the Facebooks, get off of everything, and then figure out what it is you can really do with your time when you're not scrolling on social media. And then when you're feeling better, you can come back to social media and then use it in a more mindful way. I regularly take breaks from social media, partly because it's boring, partly because like I have issues just like everyone else has issues, and sometimes I get triggered. I also have like bursts of energy where, I want to be more engaged or I feel like being more social. And so I use social media differently depending on my mood, right? Makes sense. So first recommendation, get connected with God. Second recommendation, get off of social media. Okay, third recommendation, get out of your house. Okay, when I was in the thick of loneliness, when I had first moved from St. Croix to Miami by myself, I stayed in my apartment empty by myself, like crying, frustrated. Why am I so lonely? I don't like this feeling. Like, get out. I don't care what you do. Just get out. I started focusing on friendships and making friends at school. And so those folks would invite me to places, and then I would have like group activities where I could talk to someone, get out of the house, do something fun, feel connected. You don't have to do something with someone else. You can go out into nature. The idea is really that you're doing something that's outside of your house, because there's certain energy here. And if you're feeling lonely, the energy that you're keeping inside your house, you just need a break from. So get out, go to a museum, go get a cocktail. What else do people do? What do people do? Go play golf, right? Do some kind of physical activity. Do something fun. Like, the whole idea is do something fun that is gonna get your like serotonin levels up. It's gonna make you feel more engaged. Just do something outside of the house, okay? And then my last two are sort of related because it's friends and family. Really what you need is a community. We are social beings, and so you actually need to make connections with people. There's different ways to do this, because you can join an organization and the goal is that it has a shared like passion to you, and so you feel connected, you feel driven, something you're really interested in. If you have friends, I'm assuming everyone has friends. If you have friends, you need to reach out to them. Maybe you're the kind of person who like blows friends off or doesn't contact them or doesn't show up. Be the friend now who's reaching back out to people who care about you, who love you. I hope there are people like that in your life. If you don't have friends, then I need to do a whole other video for that. But the idea is that you make friends, that you actually put out effort. Like I was saying before, you are going to have to do something different. Change is difficult. So I'm not saying any of this is going to be easy. I'm just saying you gotta do it if you want something different. If you want to keep feeling lonely, then don't do anything that I'm saying. But if you don't want to feel lonely anymore, if you want to feel connected, if you want to feel valued, if you want to feel important to other people, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to interact with people. Like that's it. So reach out to your friends. Maybe you have a coworker that's been inviting you somewhere that you haven't gone to. Go to the thing. I don't care what it is. Just go. If you have family, because I'm also assuming everyone has family, but I know everyone doesn't. And you may be estranged from your family may be abusive. There may be a whole lot of things happening in your family, and your friends have become your family. If you do have family, make those connections like real, like actually invest in taking the time to maintain those connections, because it's really not about, okay, we're family and that's it. You really have to foster the connection and continue to share energy with someone. It's really an exchange. Relationships are all about exchange. And so you have to put the effort out if you want to receive something. But don't do it expecting and sort of holding someone to this standard of you have to do what I do. We're not doing it like that. We are putting out efforts. We're hopeful that people will make a real connection with us, that our friends and family will value us and treat us with respect. But there's no guarantee. And if you get caught up in the outcome of that, then you're gonna feel something in addition to loneliness. And we don't want that. We don't want that. We want effort. You're doing something different. We want to feel connected. So get good with God, universe, being, Allah, Jah, like all the different names, people identify with, the names don't really matter to me. I think they're all talking about the same one thing, big thing. The idea is you are connected to something bigger than yourself, that you have an understanding for the way the world works, your purpose in the world, and so you get it, and you just don't feel alone, even if you're in a log cabin on a mountainside by yourself. you wouldn't feel lonely. Like that's the idea. You know, that sounds so appealing to me right now. Log cabin on a mountain by myself. I wouldn't mind doing that for a little while. And I wouldn't feel lonely. I don't feel lonely. I really don't get lonely. I really don't get lonely. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've felt lonely, like longing. It's been a while since I've felt that. But I used to, and like I'm telling you, I've had to do and think differently in my life. I've had to work at my friendships, my sister friendships, work at, you know, relationships, friendships with other people. And the life I'm living now, beautiful. It's a beautiful life. And I'm really, really thankful. And so I hope you do one thing. Tell me the one thing you do. Tell me how it works out for you. We can all feel connected in this world. You know, there are over 60% of people right now in the United States who feel lonely. It's not an isolated event. You are not alone. A lot of people are feeling this thing. We don't have to. We don't have to. So consider for a moment that you can do something differently in your life. And I really invite you. And I want to send you all the positive vibes so that you can get that feeling of connectedness that I think we're all longing for. Thank you for watching.